Maleficent. What the fuck kind of hat is that?
This is my African prince hat.
Okay, shit. You got a bean pie over there too?
And a pork chop sandwich.
And a pork chop sandwich. And a white woman. I was about to say, you can't be wearing that cowboy shit while we're trying to do this Maleficent movie, whatever it is. Everybody, Disney has a new movie out, big movie, Maleficent. And I can't.
Maleficent.
Maleficent. Okay. You know what? Couldn't they have picked another villain? Couldn't they have done a movie called Wicked Stepmother or Evil Queen?
Man, that's so prevalent. She was the most well-designed of all those Wicked Stepmother type characters.
You know what? That is true. This is based off of Sleeping Beauty.
Right.
And Sleeping Beauty is one of my favorite Disney movies.
You know, it's funny because as the Disney animated movies go, it's probably my least favorite. Except visually, it's at the top of my list.
One of the movies that I studied when I was a kid trying to learn how to draw.
But then to watch it, as far as like the writing on that is so superficial.
Even Disney looked at their own movie and said, damn, this shit ain't got no character in it.
Yeah.
We got to remake this shit.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Human beings are shitty people, man.
They can be.
Human beings, we write all the history books. These fairies and elves and shit, they don't get a chance to tell their story.
That's true. It's true. It's told by the winners.
Until the Wicked Witch came out. Had that play Wicked out there. She said, hold on, y'all didn't hear my shit. Y'all believing all that bullshit. You didn't hear my side of the story. She opened up the doors for everybody to do expose now.
The Grinch did his.
He sure did. And now Maleficent came out and said, you know what?
Like that's a bunch of bullshit.
That's a bunch of bullshit. Let me come in here and TMZ this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like she said, like, oh, that's how you heard it? You didn't hear the part before that? What set that up? Okay, watch this now.
Yeah. Turns out that Maleficent is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maleficent was actually good to people. The humans were the ones that came in and started fucking with her. That while she was angry and rightfully so, she was never an evil person.
Right. She was hurt. She was wronged.
Yeah, she was scorned. The king in this movie. Yeah, big asshole, but there's something about him that has more character than the cartoon did.
Oh, absolutely.
And Maleficent herself is definitely more dimensional. However, those are the only two characters in the movie that really have any real personality to me. And the thing that I found heartwarming about the film is that Maleficent, Elle Fanning plays Aurora. Aurora is the princess from the original movie.
Right.
And there's a point where her and Maleficent start to bond.
Right.
Maleficent starts to feel, if you've seen the original movie, she says on her 16th birthday, she's going to prick her finger on a spinning wheel and she's just going to sleep.
She's going into a coma.
She's going to, might as well be, just say she's dead. Unless we get a guy who's going to come in here and give her a kiss and then she'll wake up because it'll be true love. But Maleficent is thinking, who's going to fall in love with a bitch that never wakes up? Really? I mean, come on. So she starts to see the girl as a human being and not as just a device of revenge. And she starts to feel responsible for her. I guess the reason why I don't feel that good about Elle Fanning in the movies because I want to see that bonding that they created more between Maleficent and Elle Fanning. I don't think Elle Fanning was enough of a character for me to really appreciate that, because one of the things I didn't like in the movie is that you have the fairies in there who need child protective services called on their ass.
Really? You didn't like? Because I like that they added that to it.
The fairies, they don't have any personality except to be stupid, bumbling fucking idiots. Now, I like the effect of the fairies. I thought that was pretty impressive. I like the way they took Imelda Staunton's big ass head and put on that little fairy body. And Juno Temple, she's a fine little fairy, man. That little fairy body is kind of hot. The blue fairy still kind of freaks me the fuck out, but in every other scene, they're about to kill that poor baby because they're too busy sitting around slapping the shit out of each other doing Three Stooges basic comedy relief. And I just found that kind of annoying and shallow.
I see that this is saying like, hey, I'm telling this, she's telling her side of the story. And from her side of the story, they would look like bumbling idiots. And maybe, in the real version of what happened, they was probably somewhere in between.
Okay, so what you're saying is we have three sides to a story.
Yeah.
We have her side, his side, and then we need a talking horse or something in here like that. Well, shit, both of them fucked up, man. Right. I sat back and saw everything.
You notice how those stories go.
It's beautiful. I mean, money was definitely thrown into
There
this
was
film.
definitely some money spent on it, and it's gorgeous. I mean, honestly, when she's a kid and they show her wings, I was like, man, so much care went into making those wings not just look realistic, but just fabulous.
Her wings,
they are magnificent.
Her wings cost as much as a Michael Bay film.
Right.
just the wings. They say that this is the most expensive film given to a first-time director.
Oh, wow.
I like the makeup on Angelina Jolie. That was great casting.
Oh, the way it made her face look angular?
Yeah, she went in and asked for that Michael Jackson special right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they put that fix-a-flat in her cheeks right there. The thing is that this is a movie that wants to go deeper. It wants to tell you more story. It wants to give you more depth to a story that didn't already have that much depth to it to begin with. I don't think that it succeeded here. They want
to build up more character around Maleficent. I mean, it's her story.
It is. But
I mean, look, it's her story, and I looked at it as being told through her lens the whole time and how she would see everybody. I thought it stayed consistent with that. And there's only so much you can do, you can add to it before it gets too far away from where it started.
Yeah, I wish.
I mean, it didn't work for you. You wanted more. For me, I was like, wow, it was actually deeper than I expected it to be.
I know. I heard you over there giggling and shit. You were having a good time.
I heard you laugh too.
You know what? You know what I laughed at? It's like there was a soldier who was doing nothing to nobody. Like he was actually about to leave the battle.
Uh-huh.
And one of those thorns,
one of those swamp creatures.
One of those vines picked him up and just tossed his ass across the field.
Like Wolverine.
Yeah. And even that dude, for a brief moment, he looked at his face. He looked like, the fuck did I do? Shit. He said, I surrendered. There's some movies where you just look at it purely from a visual standpoint, and they get it right. I feel like I'm transported to another world, or else I'm high than a motherfucker right now. But nevertheless, between Angelina Jolie's performance and just being swept up in this land and really being immersed in it, I thought it was enjoyable. I didn't think it was as great as the potential that it offered, but I thought it was decent, man. I will give this movie a matinee, man. I think it's entertaining.
It's not only, it nails it for its audience, but it's a little higher than what they've had to what they've had to deal with or come to expect lately. Because I looked at it and I compared it to movies like, say, Jack the Giant Slayer, and Mirror Mirror, and Cinderella and Snow White and the Huntsman. And I'm like, I like this way better than all those. This movie for me was a treat, and I wasn't expecting that. So I give it a low full price.
My mother has a purse like that hat. You really do look like some shit out of
Coming to America.
Coming to America, yeah.
Prince Jaffe Jaffer.
Yeah. You should let me be your Arsenio Hall, man. Don't think that just because I have these small complaints about the film that I don't like the direction that Disney's going.
It's kind of like what Frozen did.
Yeah, what Frozen's doing, I like that. I like this feminist approach that they're taking.
Yeah.
And I like that. I want to hear some more stories, man.
I know, from the villain's point of view, from the so-called villain's point of view.
See, that's the thing, man. In all these Disney movies, you always watched them and said, why the fuck are they so angry? Now, when I'm waiting on, I want to find out how much of a bitch Cinderella was.
Right.
And find out that I want the wicked stepmother to say, look, I gave her everything.
Right. But she wasn't even my child.
She wasn't even my child. And she was a fucking brat. She was never satisfied. I want to hear Cruella de Vil. I brought those puppies home. I did everything I could to take care of them. They shitting all over the place. Fucking parents wouldn't let me near without barking and growling at me.
Man, okay. 101 Dalmatians. That's actually one of my favorites. I rewatched several times. Cruella de Vil has no leg to stand on.
You don't know her story. She probably said, I tried to help those dogs all I could. Those dogs bit me, fucking tore my furniture up.
And so I decided out of the goodness of my heart to make a coat out of them.
She probably said, you know what? I was going to sew them all into one coat, but they were still going to be alive. I wasn't going to kill them. I was going to be like Lady Gaga, just wear a coat of live puppies.
Just make a bunch of dog centipedes.
The dog centipede, yes. Just walk on stage wearing a bunch of yapping shitting dogs over your coat. I mean, you don't know her story. You don't know, Martin.